I didn't really know what I wanted to make for my first vlog. I mean, I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about. I didn't know what people wanted to hear. And I figured probably the best way to introduce myself would be to talk about the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. I may have like tricked you into thinking I'm a put together and well-adjusted adult. Truth is, a few years ago, I was a barely functional human being. My anxiety disorder would turn any passing fear of danger into a full-blown and rational fear. Just like a 5-year-old, you know, I believed that in the darkness lay all the bad and evil things. And once there was a light, like the bad things couldn't exist anymore. Like rapists and murderers and just, I watched way too much Law and Order SVU. If you have an anxiety disorder, don't watch SVU. It convinces you that rapists are everywhere. So I was in charge of props for my college's theater department. All of the props were kept in this little storage area underneath the school's chapel in a place delightfully known as the Dungeon. And I don't know who made up that name, but seriously, f*** you. It was 2 rooms separated by a door, and the sadist who put in the electrical system down there put the light switch for the second room like 20 feet away from the door, which meant you had to sprint through complete darkness in order to turn on the light. And you add someone like me with an anxiety disorder, and shit like this happens. For the first few weeks, I couldn't go down there by myself. I was so freaked out by the entire room. Everything was terrifying down there. Every noise was a murderer. I needed someone with me to go turn on the light for the second room because I could not sprint through the darkness. This went on for a couple weeks until finally one day I had to go in on my own. Like, I couldn't get someone to come with me. Luckily for me, because it was the prop storage area, we also had an arsenal of stage combat weapons. And so to keep myself safe, in my mind, I picked up this samurai sword. It was really heavy, and even though it was dull, I knew it could inflict some serious damage on anyone that tried to attack me while I was down there. So I took to carrying that around as I got all my props together. So this one time, I'm trying to muster the courage to get to the second room. I open up the connecting door, and I have my samurai sword with me, and I let out this like Braveheart battle cry, and I like sprint through the darkness, and I turn on the light, and I am so excited. I'm like, yes, I made it. Like, I lived. And that lasted for about 2 seconds, because then I heard the most terrifying, blood-curdling creak. The creak that they put in horror movies to let you know that is about to go down. I picked up my sword, and I was ready. I was like, if I'm gonna be murdered right now, I'm not going down without a fight. I needed a dinner set from the kitchen storage area, but I couldn't carry the dinner set as well as the samurai sword, so I had to sort of choose something else to take up with me to make the trip worthwhile and to make the terror almost seem worth it. I settled on this cooking pot that we needed, so I unlocked the cage and I turned to grab the pot, and then I saw it. It was a human figure. Like, holy shit. I screamed so loud. Everything went kind of hazy, and then all of a sudden I felt this huge pain in my foot, and I was thinking, oh my god, this rapist murderer is stabbing me in the foot with his rusty shanking knife, and I'm gonna die. I ran from the room. Like, I sprinted out of there, and I managed to like slam the door behind me and sort of like curl up into this little ball, just like waiting for the sweet release of death to come. After a couple minutes, when I realized I wasn't going to die and the adrenaline started to die down, I sort of started to figure out what had happened. The cooking pot that I needed was on the same shelf as the toasters, the highly reflective toasters. Yeah, I scared myself shitless with my own reflection, and in doing so, dropped the samurai sword onto my foot. Yeah, that was not my brightest moment. I couldn't go back down there for like a week. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't make toast either, now that I think about it. Even toasters made me ashamed.